We know who Donald Trump is. He is the person who stood at this very spot nearly 4 years ago and sent an armed mob to the United States Capitol to overturn the will of the people in a free and fair election. America, this is not a candidate for president who is thinking about how to make your life better. This is someone who is unstable, obsessed with revenge, consumed with grievance, and out for unchecked power. But America, I am here tonight to say that is not who we are. That is not who we are.
So that right there is a bit from candidate Kamala Harris's big speech at the Ellipse, and it was a big speech, big as in important. This is sort of her closing remarks in the same way that at Madison Square Garden, Donald Trump reminded everyone of who he was and what it would be like if he were president again. She is attempting to do the same thing. Big in terms of the response. People seem to really like this speech, and also big in terms of the attendance, as we will get to. And you can see right there sort of the focus. It's a warning about Trump and who he is. We're to get to some of the policy as well. But I think the visuals right there are very powerful. She certainly looks very presidential. Obviously, the location being where Trump spoke before the insurrection, highly symbolic and probably will be for many, many decades to come. But we're gonna discuss, I wanna give you just a little bit more of some of her criticism of Donald Trump before we jump into it.
Look, world leaders think that Donald Trump is an easy mark. Easy to manipulate with flattery or favor. And you can believe that autocrats like Putin and Kim Jong-un are rooting for him in this election. I will always uphold our security, advance our national interest, and ensure that the United States of America remains, as we must forever be, a champion of liberty around the world.
So that's generally how presidential candidates would sound pre-Trump. They'd talk about these things, these ideals, these values, present an image perhaps of what we could be as a nation. Things have changed a little bit with Donald Trump. And overall, I will say, we're gonna get into more of the clips. I liked the speech. I did think that it lacked a certain something. Like there were no comedians that went up and insulted whole groups of people. So it just didn't have that spice that I think most people demand. But I guess, she looked presidential. But anyway, sarcasm aside, Brett, what'd you think?
I'm ready to make presidents hot again. Like Obama was hot, like Clinton was hot, W was hot, Trump's gross looking. That's what I'm excited about. And heading into the election, I just want to put myself in that headspace of, if I'm holding on too tight, I'll just be wildly disappointed. But she reminds the counterpoint of her being exactly in the same spot that Donald Trump was when he did the opposite of provide a unifying message. I am tired of something. I'm tired of people telling me that because I still remember what America was like and the promises it made before a president said, essentially go down there and break into the White House and hang Mike Pence. Like I remember what it was like back then. And I liked that better. And
Me
that
too.
There's plenty of people out there who seem to be saying that just because he didn't succeed or that it isn't fascism. Like that is a fascist instinct. And the world is so much, like as much as people hate business as usual politicians, the kind of shake it up candidate that Donald Trump is not the kind of shake it up candidate that will result in your life being better. You know how I know? Yeah. It happened already. And the thing that Donald Trump wants to do better next time is not delivering on more promises for his people. The thing that he wants to do better next time is not get more jobs for working class Americans. The things he wants to do better next time is never let go of power. Is never lose an election again at whatever cost. Like the machinations, the default the through line of who he is as a person is, I don't care about anything but myself and doing whatever I need to do to be the most powerful person in America. He never has once for 1 second cared about anybody else. And I think that Kamala Harris is better than him in that respect. And so I think this speech did a good job of pointing that out to me.
I think that is a very good point, because you pointed out, this is not hypothetical. We had 4 years of him, and he didn't deliver for regular people. And that was after at least campaigning as if he was going to and wanted to. He talked about making America great again and blah, 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 drain the swamp, get rid of the corruption, make it work for you. He's barely even doing that this time. So you already know that he doesn't intend to keep his promises. He's dispensing with the promises. The promises that he is giving is that I am going to be hyper-focused on the meanies who were mean to me, and I will shred this Constitution if that's what it takes to get back at all these people that I hate. And I'll try to, like I guess bamboozle you into thinking that somehow me taking down my personal political opponents helps you in literally any way, but it doesn't, and it won't. And as we'll get to later in the show with Elon Musk, they're promising ahead of time that you are going to economically suffer if they get in power. Not if Harris does. If they get in power and they get to do all the things they want to do, they're already telling you it's going to go really badly for you. And so if you want to jump into that, have fun. Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.